So welcome to my second motovlog. My name is Steve and welcome to my channel. So today's the first day where it's about in the 60s. So I decided I wanted to come out for a little bit of a ride and enjoy the day. And I thought I'd take some of you with me. So welcome aboard. So today I want to talk a little bit about what it was like to get my first bike and why I decided to get my second bike. So it all really begins back in that training class that you take, the motorcycle safety course that you take. For me anyway. Now remember, what I tell you is personal preference. It's not, oh, Steve said so, that's the rule. It's not because Steve said it, that's the rule. But anyway, for me, my situation was such that I learned to ride on a 250. I believe they were V-Star 250s at the time. That's what the school had. My V-Star 250 wasn't the greatest V-Star 250. You know, it had clearly taught a lot of people. It had clearly fallen a lot. So, you know, but what do you expect? I mean, it was a training class motorcycle, right? So I took it and I got used to the power of a 250. So I spoke with the teacher and I said to the teacher, for your first bike, what would you buy? And he said, for my first bike, I'd buy a 250. Now I heard different stories. Some people told me it's too small, you're going to outgrow it right away. Other people told me, if you've never ridden before, 250 is going to be good for you. I'm more of the camp where the 250 was good for me. It was close enough to the bike that I learned on, similar power. I mean, what it was a Honda Rebel 250. That was the one that I bought. And I'm going to tell you, I love that bike. For a lot of reasons. That bike was very light, very nimble. Now, it's not so much, I'm 5'8", 5'9", I weigh about 166. I'm very proud to say that because I just lost 20 pounds, so now I weigh 166. But anyway, it was a very light, very nimble bike. And that made me very happy because I wasn't worried about balancing, I wasn't worried about anything. I was just trying to concentrate on using the controls like everybody else who's learning to ride. So it was one less thing to be concerned about. It turned very easy. You know, you could do the U-turns, you could do the figure eights, you could do all of that stuff fairly easily, which I was very happy with. And I rode it, I'm going to say, for about a year. At the end of the year, well, that's where the second camp of people, that's where their opinions come in. Yeah, I did outgrow it. I did. I knew I outgrew it when I have friends who've been riding for years, you know, and it's kind of an awkward thing when you're starting in your 50s. At least it was awkward for me, starting in my 50s, and you know, there were kids who were riding and had years more experience than me. My friends had been riding for years, and then you've got me who's like, okay, I've got my Honda Rebel, and they would take off and boom, they were gone. And me, not so much. I'd be like 30, 40, that bike can do 70. It can. But, you know, it's a very light bike, and it seems to get lighter the faster you go. Not that I thought it was going to ever take flight, but it sure felt like it sometimes. Anyway, I did outgrow it, you know, and, you know, my wife started to tell me in the most gentle way, you know, you look too big for that bike. But the bike served its purpose. It taught me, and it taught me well, and it got me comfortable. And then I went shopping for a new bike. Something that wouldn't blow me around so much. Something that could go faster without giving me the impression we're taking flight. Yay! So I went shopping, and I found a Honda Shadow, American Classic Edition. I love this bike. It's an amazing bike. It's much bigger. It's much heavier. It's faster. It's definitely louder. You can hear that in the background. It's way definitely louder. But it's a nice bike. It's so nice. It's a funny story. When I went to buy it, he was nice enough to let me test drive it. Now, a lot of people won't let you test drive it because you could fall, you could drop it. A lot of things can happen. But he was nice enough to let me test drive it. So I took it for a ride around the block. The problem was, where he lived, he didn't have a block kind of like, you know, the rectangular blocks like a lot of towns have. What he had was, it was a lot like going through winding roads and things like that. So I took off on this bike, and I was nervous because I'd never driven anything that was this heavy before. So I took off on the bike, and let me just adjust the camera here. All right, want to make sure the camera's still attached to my head. That's always a good thing. Anyway, I took off on the bike, and my wife was there with the guy. Minute, 2 minutes, 3, 5. And they thought I fell. They thought I crashed. They didn't know what happened to me. What happened to me was I got lost. I couldn't find my way back. So now here I am on this bike, and I can't find my way back, and I'm wandering around. And anyway, after, it only took a couple of minutes, and then I came back. You know, I found my way back. I never got the bike out of second gear, which is probably the best, considering I didn't know where I was going and I was lost. But as soon as I bought it, fell in love. I had to have somebody bring it home for me in a truck. I had a friend who brought it in the back of his truck. Because, again, you know, it was new. I wasn't going to take a brand new bike that was that heavy for me and put it onto the highway. Wasn't about to do that. And actually, my first highway ride was with you guys. That was my first video. So anyway, after that, I was like, I can't wait to get on this bike. Well, okay, but the bike needed new tires. Apparently, from what they tell me, badly. So I got it new tires. I got it all set to run. And then winter came. It's like, really, man? Really? Winter? Now? So anyway, I had to wait a little bit, but as soon as I got on it, and I was happy. It only took me a couple of hours to get used to the bigger bike. And actually, to be honest now, I didn't expect it, but the bigger bike, it felt more stable than the lighter bike. I don't know why. I'm sure somebody who knows physics could explain that, but I would not be that someone. Anyway, that's my tip for you, at least. It's not my advice for what you should do, but it's what worked for me. I was very happy buying a 250 for my first bike, getting used to driving, local streets, getting used to the bike, getting used to everything. I was very happy doing it. And then after I got used to it, yeah, I was ready for a bigger bike. I know there are people who will tell you to start with a bigger bike. They will tell you that it's a waste of money, you're going to outgrow and you're going to sell the other bike. And yeah, okay, that is what happened. I mean, I'm just going to say for the record, I didn't sell the Rebel. I still have the Rebel because when I got used to it, when I got ready to sell it, my son said to me, you know what? Can I have it? I would like to learn how to ride. Yeah, you can have it. Now, he hasn't started yet because at the time of this filming, we're in April 2020. So, yeah, he's not riding yet. He wants to sign up for the motorcycle safety course. Going to be a little bit difficult right now because April 2020, we're having that corona thing, so everything everywhere is closed. It's just where we are at this moment in time, you know. But the Rebel, that will go to my son. This one will go to me, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe he'll outgrow it. Maybe he won't like riding. I don't know what's going to happen. But I will tell you, it's a wonderful bike, and I have no problems giving him that bike. I trust the bike. I trust him. So anyway, that's today's. So I hope you liked the episode. I hope you learned something. Please give me your comments. Let me know if you agree with me, disagree with me, what your experiences were. Feel free to share. Thank you very much. Please subscribe. Please hit the notification button and you'll be able to see how often I post. Ride safe. Take care. Bye-bye.